Alright, so I've got a bit of an update, and that is that I got the ALF adjusted for the first time. Like, it was put in and then, adjusted at the time, but this is 7 or so weeks after the first time that I got put in. So this is, I guess, what will be really telling, is if tomorrow I wake up and I'm sounding very, very resonant. So it was adjusted today, top and bottom, to make it slightly wider, and they also, at the same time, you've got a cranial osteopath there, like making sure that that feels good as while this stuff is in. So if you've been following on my journey, I've done all these different things. I'm not going to go into it now. You can just see all the videos and all the stuff that I've done to try and help me with my vocal health. I've found it very difficult to sing well consistently. It will be like 20% of the time I'll be able to sing well, 60% of the time very average, 20% of the time just like shocking. And I've basically been on a mission to figure out why the heck that is. I've got very, very healthy vocal cords, things I've also trained to like do mixed voice and all that stuff, going back through it for several years now. But what seems to trip me up is that my body's always in a state of fight or flight, so I'm always like this. And there's emotional reasons maybe behind that. I mean, I've done things like CBT to try and help with that. I've had 2 surgeries on my nose, a tongue tie surgery. I've got the ALF now, ALF appliance. I've done all the acupuncture, the massages, breathing coaches, like all these people. But I've actually seen someone recently who's a chiro who does what's called network spinal. Now, I said this in the previous video that I wasn't finding it very helpful, but it was pretty much the 4th time that I went there, I started to find it, and I was able to really, really relax and get out of that kind of sympathetic state into a parasympathetic state, which is like a rest and digest state. And the way I was able to do that was by breathing really, really slowly, and I'll tell you why. When he was telling me to breathe, usually, because you're on the chiropractic bed and you're like face down and stuff, I was trying to he was basically saying, oh yeah, breathe into the back up here. I was trying, really trying. But then I said to him, and this is the 4th time that I went there, bear in mind, I've been 3 times already to him, well, I wasn't finding it very helpful. And I said to him, when I'm breathing in, am I meant to feel any of this musculature? Because I feel like I'm really having to force that air in. And he was like, well, do I really have to answer that? So basically, I then, after that point, decided to breathe really, really slowly so that I couldn't use any of this extra musculature when I was taking in a breath. And then I was able to actually really relax these muscles as the session continued. And by the end, he found it really, really easy to like sway my back and all this sort of things, and a lot of the tension went out my neck. So it's like, I guess I've kind of seen what's possible with that. So it'd be great if I can access that kind of a relaxed state the whole time. The problem is, because I've basically got this forward posture after it's either a car accident that I had or a sporting injury that I had like 8-9 years ago. Combination of the two probably, that has led me to have like this forward head posture. It's basically a whiplash posture. And it means all this stuff here is really, really tight. There's like 20 muscles just in here and here as well. So this stuff is really, really tight. Here's tight as well. And I think I was also mentioning in the last video that I got like the Atlas orthogonal thing done, and like I travelled all the way to Newcastle from Sydney for just like this little buzz in the side, right? And again, like that was another thing that I was quite disappointed by. But it was only a few days ago where I was watching a movie on my side, and as I came up afterwards, like I felt this crack type thing. It was like that, and I was like, oh no, like I think I messed it up, because that C1 had basically come out kind of again, or I think it was the C2 that actually kind of came out a bit, and I could feel it. It was really, really painful, and that made me realise that, well, first of all, I had to go immediately to Newcastle the next day to go get it freaking sorted out, because it was really causing a pain. But also the fact that had actually done something, because that basically, the pain that I was in is something that I'd basically had for a long, long time. And I now know what it's like not to have that pain, if that makes sense. And the idea with the Atlas orthogonal is that once your Atlas is corrected, then your body can actually start to work itself out and be more like, a bubble on your head and stuff. And the other thing is, my neck mobility was improved. Like I could look all the way behind me. The interesting thing is now I am not finding that I can, I'm not finding that I can like look all the way behind me with a lot of ease. And there were a few days, that I was able to do that with like a lot of flexibility. I look all the way around to the back, and I'm finding that a lot quite tricky at the minute. The other thing is that my tongue flexibility has been bad basically ever since the tongue surgery that I had. It's bad for years, but the tongue surgery that I had back in February, my tongue flexibility was really good for like 1.5 days. It was like unbelievable. I could swallow so well, I could sleep really well and stuff because it was going to the roof. But apart from prolotherapy aside, where the tongue was really, really flexible because all the tissue was like slightly released, and I find it this stuff here, it doesn't really want to come up. Now, if you were to watch the prolotherapy video that I did, saying that my tongue was really flexible after prolotherapy, you'll be able to see the difference. Like it was so much more flexible than it is now. When I go try and go up, it just goes like to the back. Like you see that? It's meant to go to the roof. It's going like it just can't go that far. It's so tight. So it's basically when I'm in the state of like the parasympathetic state, as I say, like the rest and digest state, I find that my tongue's able to move freely. I find that I can sing like well, and I find that I can breathe properly, but it's the rest of the time I'm always in this tight state. So it's a case of, can I get out of that state? Can I be in a state of calm, rest and digest the whole time? I've been doing some somatic stuff. I've been looking to Feldenkrais and stuff. I'm trying to see if I can get an instructor here. I talked about Molly tipping a few days ago in one of the videos, and I actually ended up having a call with her, which was really, really kind of her. Hopefully I can repay the favour somehow to her one day. But she was really helpful in basically saying that, you can literally correct all your posture and everything by, getting out of that fight or flight state. Because my body's basically in this state for years and years and years. What else is there? I mean, that's kind of where I'm at the minute. The other thing with the chiro, both the chiro and the osteopath, they basically both crack like my ribs here, like trying to open it out, and also like parts of my back, because like I'm so it's a bit ridiculous. But and the other thing is because I know that I'm blessed in so many ways in regards to my health, so I can't really complain. But it's like if you're trying to actually do singing, it's like a career, it's like a life thing or whatever, or even just something you enjoy. If you're in this like fight or flight state, or you've got all this tension stuff, like it gets really, it can make you really miserable and stuff. Because it's like, you can do it, you can, it's just your body doesn't want you to do it. That's what's so frustrating. But what I'm excited about is the fact that I've just had the adjustment done. So tonight, I'm going to have that in, and hopefully I'm going to wake up and have a very, very clear voice from the get-go. Because what happened is, when I first got it in, first few days, like I had to actually get it adjusted again because they had like messed on it, just putting my teeth out and all that stuff. But once I had it clipped in properly and was making sure I was exercising the jaw, I woke up and I had a really, really clear voice. And my brother's wedding was about a week after that, and I wouldn't have been able to sing at his wedding if I hadn't had the ALF done before. I can promise you that. Like I would not have been able to do it. So I'm very, very grateful for this thing. The problem is, about three weeks later, maybe, all those benefits basically went because the ALF had pushed out enough on my teeth to the point where it wasn't pressing anymore and wasn't providing all that, tension in the skull, which was able to, get all the, like my cranial nerves to work properly, and wasn't separating the jaw in the same way that it was before. Basically, you only ever want to be talking from the top half of the jaw rather than the bottom. Like you see, when I'm talking, it's always going to this bottom bit here. And with singing, like they always say, hold it there and then sing and stuff. But it's like with me, because I know how to do mixes. I know what it feels like when it's not pressing here. But it's like when you're in the fight or flight state, which most of the time, it's like it doesn't matter what I do. Like I can't get this to, do what it needs to do and stay there. Another thing which I thought was interesting is when you're trying to move the jaw properly, I think there's an area just back here, just the back of the skull. That's actually what needs to be moving at the same time. And I found that it was this morning as I was waking up. I watched the Tottenham Man City game. I support Arsenal, so I was supporting Tottenham, obviously. But yeah, like I noticed this morning when I was I think I went for a nap after the game, or maybe it was before. Anyway, I tried that thing that the car had said. It's like, oh yeah, try move this and move this at the same time, and I was able to get a massive movement. It was very, very brief, maybe a couple of seconds, but I felt in that moment what it feels like when it's just not tight, just for a second. So that was interesting. That's something I'll try to look more into. But yeah, I just wanted to make this video to give you a bit of an update and tell you about the ALF, because I'm excited about how I'm going to wake up tomorrow morning. Should be good. And yeah, I'll keep you updated with regards to the network spinal, the Felden Christ, if I have to do another Atlas orthogonal again, and how the ALF goes, of course, and any other updates. But yeah, that's pretty much it for now. I'll speak to you all soon.